On today's show, we're going to be doing the updated win-loss record. I'm going to go through the whole schedule and tell you what I think the line's going to do win-loss versus all the teams that we face. Now, this is after OTAs, training camp, mini camp, all that, and we got week 1 starting Sunday. So I wanted to go through this whole thing right before. So that's what we're going to do in today's video here. Do you want the Detroit Lions to win the NFC North? If you do, go ahead and smash that like button right now. So we're going to go through each game. I'm going to give you my thought process, what I think is going to happen with the Detroit Lions this year. And we're going to start with the game that we have Sunday afternoon at 4:25. Lions are traveling to Green Bay. And I look at this matchup here. I know the media is really on the Packers on this game because they traded for Micah Parsons. But I'm not. I have the Detroit Lions winning this game 27-24. I just think right now, the way that it is, the Detroit Lions are the better football team. Lions defense is amazing right now. I think that they can travel to the Packers and get that W. Next, the Lions, they get to be home versus the Chicago Bears, the Ben Johnson Bears. I got the Lions winning this game. I do think that the Bears will eventually get better down the road, but it's early in the year, and it's going to be hard for all those players to get on a winning streak this early, especially with a new scheme and a new everything. So I think the Lions will start 2-0, winning both division games at Green Bay and versus Chicago, and that's a great way to start the NFL season. Give me a final record prediction. Who do you got winning all these games in the comments right now? Give me your win-loss record. We travel to Baltimore. I got the Lions losing this game here. The Ravens are still a really good team. Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson will give the Lions fits with the mobile quarterback. Last time we faced them, we got smoked. I don't think it's going to be the case this time. I do think we lose the game, but it'd be much closer. Last time we faced, it was a shellacking, and I don't see that happening this time. Not a shellacking. Then we are home versus the Cleveland Browns. I do have the Lions winning this game. They're just the better team overall versus Cleveland. Cleveland's like in a rebuild. What they're doing over there, they got a lot of stuff going on. Lions are better. They could deal with Joe Flacco or whoever their quarterback is going to be. The Lions should come home and get that win and be 3-1. And in week 5, the Detroit Lions got to travel a short distance to the Cincinnati Bengals. It's going to be a tough game. Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati offense is amazing. Now, the Lions going to be able to put points up there. They did get Trey Hendrickson back, but I do think it's going to be really difficult to win that game in Cincinnati. Joe Burrow is lights out at his house, and they put up a ton of numbers. So for that alone, I do got the Lions losing this game at Cincinnati. I just think the Bengals are good. It's going to be a great game. I think this is going to be a back-and-forth game right there. But it's going to be hard to go to Cincinnati and beat Joe Burrow when he's really good there. Lions then travel to Kansas City, and I got the Lions winning this game. I don't believe Kansas City is good as they have been. The Lions beat them a couple years ago. I think they do it again. The Lions' defense, specifically the secondary, I absolutely believe they can hold down the Kansas City Chiefs. I think the Chiefs, I think they're going to take a little bit of a downslide this year. I feel like last year they got lucky in a lot of games. They won games that may by one possession that maybe they shouldn't have. And I think that the Lions can go to KC and get another win and really irritate the Kansas City fans. They're thinking that Jared Goff can never lose to Patrick Mahomes because he's 2-0 already. Might as well make it 3-0 as we go over there. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers come to Detroit the following week. We lost to them last year, week 2. This time they're coming back, and we get redemption and beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Lions are a better team, and you know how they are. They're a team that loves getting revenge. They're a team that loves to do payback. Remember, 2 years ago, we lost to the Dallas Cowboys with the extra point. What did the Lions do last year? They went crazy and did all sorts of formations, putting Dan Skipper with the extra lineman. I think they did it 12 times. That was the most ever. They got a little bit petty right there because they're irritated how that game ended. And I have a feeling the Lions are going to look into this game and they're going to go say, yes, it's time to get payback from what happened last year and beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and get redemption right there. And then the Lions get a bye week. That's always a victory, right? Given the bye week there, and that's good. They'll be rest up because we got to travel to Minnesota after that. And when we go to Minnesota, it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be tough. But that said, I do think the Lions are the better football team, so I got them winning the game at Minnesota Vikings, taking it to them, getting a victory again. We swept them last year. I don't know if the Vikings are as good as they were last year. Sam Darnold came in there, did a really good job at quarterback. We don't know what's going on with JJ. We'll see, but I got the Lions winning that game. It's a tough game here. The Washington Commanders. That's a tough one. Before we get to it, give me your final prediction in the comments right now. Who do you got winning? Who do you got losing in the game? Give me your thoughts in the comments. Again, the Commanders is going to be a tough one. We lost to the playoffs in them, and the Lions going to get payback. They're going to get that win at Washington. They're going to go all out. They were embarrassed last year in the playoffs. Jordan Daniels beat us. The Lions defense is much better now with players. They get redemption, get that much-needed victory for our football team. And then the next game, huge game. Philadelphia Eagles, the Super Bowl champions, the team that I've been looking at as the team to beat in the NFC. Everyone talks about the Packers because they got Micah Parsons. No, it's still the Philadelphia Eagles. So get the Lions traveling to Philadelphia, and we're going to take that L. I just think it's going to be a little bit too hard. They got a great defensive line. They can throw a lot of pass rushers at Jared Goff. I know the offensive line will be doing a little better by this point in the season. Still, I think going to Philadelphia, getting a win there in that crowd against that team, it's going to be hard to do for the Lions. So I got them taking the L to the Eagles. Next, we got New York Giants coming to the Lions, and I got a victory here against the Giants. Now, they're a better football team. Make no mistake about it. I like what they've done with Dart and their weapons, but the Lions are just the better team all around. Offense, defense, special teams. It's not much of a comparison. Then we got Green Bay coming to the Detroit Lions, and they're angry. They're really angry. They want to get a victory, and dang it, I have them getting a win on Thanksgiving. We beat them week 1. They come back and get a victory. They have a tendency to somehow pull a win out of defeat, so I just have them out of pure luck getting the win here, beating the Detroit Lions on Thanksgiving, and that stinks because we hate losing on Thanksgiving. I really don't want this to be the case, but that's what I got. Next here, Dallas coming to Detroit, and that's going to be an easy victory. The Cowboys, I think, are going to fall off a cliff. They could be a top 5 draft pick in here. We beat them in the 40s to 9 last year. I think it was, 42 to 9. It could be a similar type of stat right there. Easy win for the Detroit Lions. Smack up the Dallas Cowboys. They're in rebuild mode after this season. That's what happens. Then we go to L.A., and the reason I got the victory here is I don't think Matthew Stafford is going to be able to withstand the whole season. I got to keep it a buck. So I got the Lions winning this game. I'm just going to assume he's not going to be at 100% with his back injury. And we've beat the Chargers 2 of the last 3 times. We did lose in 22 when we went to L.A., but that's when our team was really bad, and we actually put up a fight. I still think the Lions are the better football team, but if Stafford plays, that could get flipped, right? Because he's wanting to get some payback. But I just think that I don't know he's going to be able to do that throughout a whole NFL season. It's going to be quite difficult. It is going to be hard. It's going to be one of those things. So If you want the Lions to win the NFC North, go ahead and smash that like button right now. The more likes we get, the more chances the Lions win the North. Then we got the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're coming to Detroit. Aaron Rodgers coming back here, and I got the Lions win this game. We're the better football team. Lions beat Aaron Rodgers. Our defense is just going to be too much for him. Our pass rush is going to be too much for him. He's not mobile like he used to be. Lions get that victory. 2 more games left on the regular season here. At Minnesota, the Lions, they lose this game to Minnesota. We try to sweep them, but we don't. The Vikings, they get payback. J.J. McCarthy better by now. They get the victory. Minnesota's a good team still. It really depends exactly how they go, obviously how their quarterback goes. But they got a great defense, great offense, weapons. It's going to be a tough get versus the Vikings. So I got the Lions losing that game. Then the final game of the regular season, I have the Detroit Lions beating the Chicago Bears to finish the season out. Sweeping Ben Johnson and Chicago, the Lions get the victory. Now, if the Lions got everything wrapped up, I think this would be a year that if they got the NFC North wrapped up at 11 wins, I think they would rest their players, and then we can flip this. I know in years past we didn't rest our players, but hearing what Dan Campbell spoke about, you know, the mistakes he made from last year, I think that potentially they could, especially if this is 11. It's not a 15-win team, it's an 11-win team, and maybe they don't get a bye week or whatever, so they just rest some of their players. But if they don't, the Lions, I got them winning this game. And then the total win-loss record for my football team is 12 wins. I have them going 12-5 for the regular season here. Give me your record in the comments below.